afternoon. I am Dr. Richard Pawley, psychiatrist, and today I present to you a test case study with long-term patient Schizophrenic. He is a mid-level security risk patient who suffers with voices, delusional behaviour and transient thought lucidity. This is video interview session 5.
Mobile porn or playboys under the bed? That's the big question we're here to debate, boys and girls. Now initially I would have said no contest, mobile porn wins hands down. After all, as the world moves on and technology progresses, so too do we. Do we not naturally adapt? After all, it is in our nature to evolve, and in doing so too will our wanking practices and need evolve to adapt to this fast-paced, high-tech filled world where everything's available at the touch of a button. Bang one out on the go. Fuck me, I'd have killed for that kind of tech as a teenager. I mean, we're not talking about 1 or 2 quick wanks. We're talking about beating the bastard to death 8 times a day. A little awkward as a teen, when the only thing to help move the process on quicker is an A4 size magazine with naked women on the cover and porn ads on the back. So the whole process of strolling through the family home to the toilet with it becomes like a scene out of Mission Impossible. You even hear the music in your head as you quickly put it down your trousers. Bollocks! Big square-shaped outline in your jeans, so you quickly learn that it needs to be slid down the back of the t-shirt and the top pulled over it. Tippy-toeing round the house, clinging to the walls, feeling like a ninja on a stealth mission, trying to look natural as paranoia tells you the game's up. They all know where you're going, they all know what you're doing, so you compensate with an awkward glance at dad, a growl at your sibling, and a shout at your mum. And so the cycle continues, until finally they want to talk, immediately leaving you panicked. So you improvise, exhale an expletive and strop off to the toilet. Mission accomplished, wank quota fulfilled. And even that works for a while, until eventually dad storms after you, banging the door, demanding that you open it at once or he's coming in. What are you going to do? At least with mobile porn, it's click, done, phone in pocket, trousers up, 5 seconds tops. Trust me, I've got it down to a fine art. But in the Playboy scenario, your trousers are around your ankles, your dick is in your hand and the jazz mag is on your knee. You got to think fast. You got to think on your feet. Now, my way might not be for everyone, but it worked for me. I stood up, opened the door, looked him straight in the eye and said, "What's this then, Dad?" with a quick glance down to my raging todger. His eyes widened before realization inspired his epiphany of enlightenment and acceptance as he nodded his understanding like a tribe elder and stepped back, allowing me to shut the door and continue my great work in peace. We shared a moment that day, my father and I. It was like an unspoken bond, or that scene out of Teen Wolf with his dad in the bathroom. A silent moment of respect earned on the path to ascension into adulthood. Although in hindsight, why my dad hadn't cut me some slack before, that is a bit of a mystery. I mean, he's a guy, he'd have had his own wank schedule to stick to, wouldn't he? Then of course my dad dropped by my room with a box of tissues and spoke in code of colds and blowing my nose, but we both knew what he really meant. Which is fine, but I've developed a decidedly weird word association issue, because even to this day, if I hear the word a tissue or sneeze, I hear must spank the monkey and have to squeeze an extra one into my daily schedule. I swear the winters are killing me. It's most bizarre. However, I digress. I've strayed right off the path of the subject matter. But my point was the convenience of mobile porn. You can bang one out anywhere now, and long spells of being single are really not looking so bad anymore. And of course the step up from magazines to soft porn videos to mobile porn was quite the culture shock, as you can imagine. Blew my mind on so many levels. In fact, to quote the great Randy Marsh, when you jacked off to Japanese women puking into each other's mouths, you can't exactly go back to Playboy, and there really is no way back. But that does rather nicely bring me to the flip side of the coin. For while mobile porn is great and offers convenience to smoothly facilitate that particular need, it also opens the door to the fact that there are so many levels of porn, and it ranges from soft love-making and gentle sensuality to massage to hard shagging to gay sex to three-ways to bondage to pissing to shitting to puking to what the fuck was that? In fact, when I first discovered it, I was like a kid in a candy store. I don't think I left the house for 3 months. I'd built up a mean right forearm, a hearty collection of stiff tissue paper, and could crush a tennis ball in my hand. You can always tell a serial chronic masturbator by the strength of his handshake. If he has you in an iron grip, there's a brief nod of respect that passes between you that says, "Wow, what a wanker! This guy knows how to beat the meat." But there was always this dark, nasty level of porn that sickened me, because it was violent, it was degrading, and it was extreme. I mean, come on guys, when did men have to start strangling or slapping women while shagging them to get a thrill? Kinda missing the point. It's not meant to be a violent act. Why are rape fantasy vids so popular? When did anal sex become mandatory? Why are there so many vids of young women crying because anal sex hurts, before being made to do it again? That's some twisted shit right there, but still pretty tame compared to some of the nasty shit that's out there. But on a much less extreme level, what happened to pubic hair? I miss it. Gone are the days of exploration where you look down, say, okay, where is it? Fart and give me a clue, before heading into the bush like Indiana Jones to find the hidden treasure, which was half the fun, wasn't it? No, these days there it is, front and centre, winking at you. All the mystery and potential exploration gone. It's become a curiosity that I have to search for, and so sad that it's now so rare to find beyond poodle-haired women of vintage 80s porn. You see, my point is that with a few playboys under the bed, it is essentially you, the naked woman on the page, and your imagination. You create the scenario, and you create the entire fantasy in your head to the specifications of your mood, while mobile porn kind of takes the imagination out of the equation. Because all you have to do is type in what you want to see on a porn site search bar, and you can guarantee, however bizarre or twisted your craving, someone somewhere will have done it. And that's really not such a good thing, particularly when you start to question why these porn fantasy scenarios are not happening to you in your daily real life. You help your neighbour unblock her kitchen sink and you're rewarded with a cup of tea instead of a blowjob. I know, right? We've all been there. Seems bizarre when mobile porn tells you a completely different story. But I suppose the other lesson to take from that is that you're probably watching way too much of it when it bleeds over enough to make you question real life. And the highly sophisticated internet security system to warn kids off these sites is a button that says, click yes if you're over 18. Are we really that naive to believe this will stop kids in their tracks, and that they won't simply just click yes to get onto the site? So the thing you have to remember is the kids are growing up with this technology and learning how to use it instinctively. Our mistake is to think that it takes them as long to learn about it as it takes us. But at 47 I'm under no illusions that I am a lumbering dinosaur compared to my children on their mobile devices. If they want to see something they shouldn't, I know that they are clever, they are resourceful, and they will find a way. And as much as I respect and encourage those traits in my children, it's hard trying to be a responsible parent when your kids are 2 moves ahead of you. So taking all these facts into account, I come back to the original question. Mobile porn or Playboys under the bed? Both have their merits, but I have to concede that Playboy and other magazines of its ilk are a dying trade. They hold great nostalgic wank value to people around my age, reflecting an age of innocence and self-teen fulfillment in terms of masturbatory material. But the future, like it or not, is mobile porn. All we can do is hope that these porn makers mature and become a bit more responsible in the messages they are sending out to the next generation of wankers in terms of sexual perception. Essentially, that message is that sex can be something beautiful, that is mutually enjoyable to both parties involved. It doesn't need to be sleazy, violent, degrading, or one-sided. It needs to be pleasurable, fun, respectful, and emotionally invested. But that's just my opinion on the subject. Fritz over and out. Have a great day.